This video is proudly sponsored by Business Excel UK, supporting small and medium-sized businesses and charities with business planning, strategy, and raising finance.
Welcome to Family Matters with Tinuke. Did you know that the UK has one of the highest rates of teenage pregnancies in Europe? We're 8 times more likely to have a teenage pregnancy than in the Netherlands and 5 times more likely than in France. Well, today with me in the studio, I've got Liz, who was a teenage mother at the age of 16. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, I found myself a young parent. I had my first child just before my 17th birthday, and I ended up a single parent at 21 with 2 kids.
Wow. How did that change your life? Did that change your life? Or is that a stupid question? Because would you have known if it changed your life if that was your life?
It kind of changes your life, but I think for the better. I don't think it was like a negative thing that people sometimes think, you know, oh, you're young and you wanted to go out and do this and do that. I wasn't really like that anyway, so it kind of just, I fitted having a baby in around the life I already had.
So the perception out there a lot of the time is that young parents deliberately get pregnant because of the benefits that come with it. They get a council flat, they get, I don't know, different benefits. I'm not sure what they are. But there's a perception that a lot of young parents do it deliberately.
Yeah.
Is that why you did it?
Absolutely not. Definitely not.
Why did you do it?
The thing is I had a plan in mind, what my career was going to be, what my life was going to be like. Children was always in that. And then, as far as I was concerned, I met the love of my life and ended up pregnant, and I was going to have this family and this wonderful life, and we were both going to have a career, and we were both going to provide for our children. So, you know, it's not really this kind of...
This is really interesting because I think rarely do we ever think, because when you're 25, 28, 29 and you get pregnant, people kind of assume you've got pregnant because you're with the man you want to be with or the person you want to be with for the rest of your life, and you know, we never think of that when we're thinking of young parents. We kind of think, well, they should be in school, they should be, you know, so why are they getting pregnant? So it's very interesting that you say it's because you're absolutely right. If that's what you felt, then that's what you felt, and it's not okay. Now, when you got pregnant, it was a while back, but did you find that there were services that helped you at all? Did you find there was social stigma? What was your experience of being a 16-year-old who was pregnant?
Right, well, to start with, at the hospital, I went to antenatal and they kept saying, oh, well, baby's having a baby. And it was quite patronising. I hated it because I didn't see myself as a baby having a baby. Yeah. I saw myself as a soon-to-be mum and who was planning just the same as if I was older, you know. I found that awful. They did have an antenatal class just for teenagers, and I turned up, and I was the only one that turned up because maybe it's a young thing, but they were expecting more, no one else turned up. So that was specifically for teenagers, but other than that, there was nothing really specific for young mums or young parents.
But do you think that's something that's needed? Would help? Because if no one turned up, is that just because it was antenatal? I'm just trying to work out whether it's something that would be useful, because if they have the services and then people don't use them, then there's no point in having them. But is it, sorry, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know with the antenatal. I think it probably would have been quite nice to have met some other young mums at the time, and just they were unreliable characters. But actually, when my baby was a bit older and I'd go to toddler groups and things like that, I'd find that I'm there with parents who are in their 20s, 30s, this, that and the other. People always assumed my son was my brother. And I didn't really fit in with, you know, conversations and have the same likes and things like that. Yeah. So I think maybe something relevant to young parents, as in under 25, not necessarily just teenagers, but under 25 might have actually been more helpful.
Okay. I think that in society generally there is a stigma to people to young parents, people that get pregnant early, because we kind of don't expect them to be doing that so early. But how was it at home? Was there a stigma at home? or?
Oh, it was terrible. Within the family, it was terrible. And the thing is once the family found out, particularly my mum found out I was pregnant, there was this disappointment. You felt it in the air. You felt like you've let her down. You know, she had all these ideas and plans of what my life was going to be and everything. And I disappointed her. So, it made it really hard. And she actually made life quite hard because it's almost like she pretended it wasn't happening, and I wasn't allowed baby equipment in the kind of communal areas and things like that. So I had to put all baby stuff away at the end of the day. No rattles left out for people to see that there's a baby. It's almost like pretending it's not going on. Yeah.
So do you think that in terms of if you had a good support, because you actually went on, you finished your education and you became what you had planned to become, which is fantastic, because like you said, a lot of people that do get pregnant early drop out because it's hard. It's hard. Now, you went ahead and you did it. Do you think you were spurred on by the stress and the situation that you found? Because normally, you know, I would always say, you know, you need a good support system to, you know, just help you through, but you didn't have that system, yet you went all the way and made it.
Yeah, I think sometimes, I think it's maybe a bit my character because I had my plan and I was sticking to it. That's slightly my character, but also this kind of feeling that I've disappointed everyone's kind of made me feel like I was determined to show them differently, that, you know, not every teenage mum's going to end up dropping out and ended up with a council home and benefits, you know. I still wanted to do what I wanted to do, and I actually sat my exams when my baby was 2 weeks old. So
Finances is a big deal in parenting across board, let alone as a young parent. How did you cope?
Well, to begin with, I thought I had this plan and I had a partner and he was working and it was all going to be great, but he left me. So I'm now a single mum. I've ended up on benefits because there's no other way. But then even whilst on benefits, I continued with my education and what I needed to do, which was childcare, and I'd done the nursery nursing, and my son was in the creche, and, you know, I finished what I needed to do, which helped because then I'd do little part-time jobs where once he started school I could work in a toddler group during the day because I didn't have childcare and things like that. But I did find being on benefits really difficult because also when you're 16, 17, your benefit level isn't the same as when you're older. It goes up an increment when you get older, so that's a bit strange why a 16-year-old with a child needs less than a 20-year-old with a child. But anyway, so it was hard to be on such a low income and things like that, yeah.
Lessons learnt or advice, or, you know?
I think it can be harder, but as long as you're determined, you're still going to be a mother and you're still going to be there for your child. That's the main thing, is raising your child, and they're the focus. I've now got a 23-year-old and a 27-year-old who are both doing really well. So I'm proud of them. I wouldn't change a thing. And I think it can be done if you're determined.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Liz.
Thanks.
It's great to have you. There is a quote that says that the best inheritance that a parent can give to their children is their time every day. So one of the things that we want to do here on Family Matters is talk to you about making memories. We want to encourage you to make memories with your family regularly. Now, there's some tools that you might need to help you with this. There are a couple of magazines that are local to the borough, and they give you information about everything that's happening. Families, North London, and Primary Times. That's basically available in primary school. So if you have a child of primary school age, you'll be able to get hold of that. Now, these are usually in the library. You can find the Primary Times in the library too, but families definitely in the library. Pop into the library. Have you been into the library recently? There's so much information there, and not just the books that are there for your children and available for you to do things with. They have little activities that go on. Now, online wise, you can go to NetMums, and if you do /Barnet, you will find what's going on in Barnet. Also, there's Time Out online, which has a lot of information about what's going on in London. And one of the things that I have found that I think is just a fantastic tool is the app Hoop, Hoop. If If you download that app, it gives you the option to put in what age your children are, what dates you're looking at, and it tells you everything that is going on in the area that you're in. It's fantastic. There's stuff there that is free. There's a lot of free stuff out there. So don't feel like you have to pay money to make memories. In fact, some of the best memories are made without any money involved at all. Just doing something, running in the park. Why not? When last did you do that? I'm hoping that I've challenged you and that you will go and make memories with your family. So please do, and if you do, send them in to us so that we can feature them on here and let people know how they can make memories too.